We've got Dr. Jessica Houston, who she's an inspiration. You can tell that's really what she labels herself as, even, and it's true. When you're sitting just in a few minutes of being in the room with her, you feel inspired. And she has a book out, and she leads some entrepreneurial classes as well. And one of the things that she teaches business owners how to do is to profit from their own brilliance. And you don't want to miss that. And she has a powerful testimony of how she helps pick people up when they're feeling down on themselves. And I can't wait to hear more about that story. Mr. This is I want to introduce you now to Dr. Jessica. How you doing, Dr. Jessica Houston? Good to see you, honey. Just talking backstage again, we get the benefit of all of us, the whole group, getting together and kind of sharing a little bit ahead of time. And tonight it was just it was a special night. It was unique. It was much different than it normally is. And just I think that comes from you guys, you know, to be honest with you. And so if you would, you know, just let us know a little bit. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes, so of course, Dr. Jessica Houston. I'm founder of ExpectingVictory.com. Right. I am actually a college professor as well.
Wow.
I teach social work. Oh. I'm also an author of Women's Secrets, It's Time to Stop Suffering in Silence. Right. And really, I was drawn into the personal development area because I was a really shy person. I'm still shy.
Right.
I was an introvert. I'm still an introvert.
Yeah.
But when
you
God said, write this book, I thought, no. Wow. First of all, am I even qualified to write the book? Second of all, if I write the book and people find out all of my struggles, how is that going to look? Because when I wrote my book, I was already Dr. Jessica Houston. I had a great position coordinating a multi-million-dollar grant. I was already married. I had a child. And so there was no reason for me to talk about all of my secrets. But God said to me, it is time for you to be open and honest about your struggles, because people look at you and they think, oh, she's awesome, she's this, and you know, she's anointed and she's intelligent and she has all of this going for herself, but they had no idea that I struggled with low self-esteem. I would look in the mirror and literally tear myself apart. I thought I was ugly. I did not like my skin tone. I did not like my nose. I did not like anything about myself. And even as a licensed social worker, I was counseling other people, encouraging other people, and I myself was struggling. I myself was depressed. There were days when I would drive to work crying in my car. Nobody knew it, not even my husband. Nobody knew what I was dealing with. I was broken. I was broken, and it wasn't until I had my daughter, and even to give a backstory on that, I struggled with infertility. So let me share that as well, because there might be someone out there watching and thinking, and my question was, God, why am I here? If I cannot have a child, why am I here? And so I was able to become pregnant several times, and I miscarried. But as you know, as I mentioned, I'm a mom. And so I was willing to go and have fertility treatments. I actually had an appointment coming up. And I found out the Sunday, my appointment was Monday, I found out Sunday that I was pregnant. And that baby stuck, and so she will be 6 next week.
That is
amazing. That is what literally turned my life around, and I thought, if I bring another human being in this world, I have to teach this person that they are special, that they are beautiful, that Hollywood does not determine who is pretty and who isn't. And so she has a lot of confidence.
Did you overdo it?
Yeah, so she is very confident. But I tell you, a lot of people, they are really thinking, I can't believe that you had low self-confidence. And
I know. You don't carry yourself at all.
And people don't understand this, but you can tell me that I'm beautiful all day. My teachers can tell me, my husband can tell me, but until I believe it.
That's true.
It does not sink in. But the moment that I realized that I was beautiful and that I was special and that I was intelligent and that I deserved to be treated like a queen, that is when my life changed. I started to value myself. I was no longer a doormat. I started speaking up for myself. And so when you're able to really get yourself out of that dark space, out of that dark place, that is when your life will change.
That is amazing.
Yes.
And so that was so impacting on you. you, and obviously, I mean, I can see that being such a huge turning point for you, that you then decided that that was your life's purpose, right? And that from there on, and am I right, that you said, well, you know, I'm going to help other people who are feeling this way. Isn't it funny how God, he uses our greatest weakness. That's why he says, my strength is made perfect in your weakness. You're a prime example of that. So when did you know that this was where you were going to go, and that was what you were going to do? What moment did that, I'm sure you can probably remember the moment that you said, I'm going to help somebody for the rest of my life with this, you know?
Yes, it was a moment where God woke me up in the middle of the night.
Wow.
Because he had already been speaking to me, and doesn't he do that?
Yes, he does. He does.
I kept saying, nope, God, you're not talking to me. I'm shy. Nope, that's not me. And so he woke me up in the middle of the night, and he said, you will write this book.
Wow.
And so I woke up it was maybe 3 in the morning, 3 a.m. I woke up. I got my pen and pad. I wrote down the title of my book. I outlined the chapters, and I knew that I had to write it, and I knew that it would change lives. And I knew that it was not about me. It was not about me being shy. It was not about me pretending that I was perfect, because in reality, none of us are perfect. And I could not be concerned about someone finding out what happened to me. But the most important thing was that I show people that God can save anyone. That God can, oh my God, goodness, that he can do it.
Yes.
And if you would just put your trust in him and not be so reliant upon yourself, that is when he can work, and that is when he can move.
Man, you know, people don't understand that, do they? I mean, and it's amazing how God marks us. And the thing that he marks us with is the thing he uses us for. In your book, and it's an incredible book. This is it right here. It's called Women's Secret. Women's Secrets, It's Time to Stop Suffering in Silence. So what drove the title? You know, what was that?
Yes, the title, Women's Secrets, is related to the fact that women are really tough.
They are.
You know, we are soft, we are loving, we are nurturing, but we are tough, and we can hold a lot of things in. And husbands probably never really know if their wife is going through something unless they ask. Because we will smile, we will help everyone, we will nurture everyone, we will be a superhero for everyone but ourselves. And so many women are harboring pain. They are harboring child sexual abuse. They are harboring depression, just like I did. They are harboring low self-confidence and thinking, who really would ever want me? Who would want to date me? Who would want to marry me? And the enemy will plant those negative thoughts in your mind. And if you are not careful, you will actually start to believe those thoughts.
That's so true. And you know, it just paralyzes people if they let the enemy set the narrative in their mind, and then he just takes them down a hopeless road. When was it that you told your husband? What did he say? How was that when you finally shared these things, these feelings with him? How did that go? In case somebody might be wanting to talk to their spouse, you know.
And actually, after reading my book, several women told me that they finally told their husbands that they were sexually abused. And so there are a lot of people that you see all the time who are actually holding all of the pain and struggle that they've been through. And my husband, he thought, wow, he knew some of it. He knew that I had grown up in poverty, but he had no idea that I struggled with depression. He had no idea that I was sexually abused as a child. And he knew a little bit about a relationship that I was in that was physically abusive, but I actually revealed everything that happened, that I was stalked, and there were just a lot of things that went on that I kept even from my parents. And so So
what you do is help empower women.
Yes, I do.
So that they don't keep all that stuff inside, right? Because there's something powerful about when you share something, it frees you, right?
It does.
And what do you teach women like this?
Yes, I do teach women that a lot of times you are thinking that by suppressing it, that it's helping, but it does not. It actually makes the issue worse. It's going to manifest in some way. And so it might manifest in your esteem. It might manifest in your relationships. A lot of times, those who have been sexually abused, they become promiscuous. They might turn to alcohol and drugs, and they might just think, I am this horrible person. And you are not a horrible person. You are just actually exhibiting the symptoms of someone who has been hurt.
Isn't that amazing?
And
Wow.
if we can tap into that pain, and that's the place that we really don't want to go to.
Right.
We don't want to feel the pain. We don't want to face it. We do not want to cry. We just want to push it like, can I just forget this happened?
Right.
But until you face it, you cannot fix it.
Amen. Man, that is, what an incredible thing that God did for you that is just going to pave the way for others. You know, and not only that, but you also help people in businesses and stuff. And so God had multiple talents and gifts. Share a little bit, if you would. How do you help people in that area?
Yeah, so I actually help aspiring and emerging entrepreneurs. I really love to help those who are in helping professions, those who are coaches, authors, speakers, and those who feel like there is something more that I am supposed to be doing. I like my job, but I feel like there's something more that God has placed in me.
Right.
And many times it is an entrepreneurial spirit.
Wow.
And I went through the phase of trying to figure out, what am I supposed to be doing? I love social work, but I know that there is more. And sometimes it's just a matter of asking God.
Right, right.
Show me, guide me. I want to know why I am here. What is my life work, God? What is my purpose? And many times you have these tips and things that just keep coming up, and you're like, wow, this is what I am supposed to be doing. And what I would like to say to someone is, do not say, I'm not good enough to do this.
Amen.
Never, ever think in your mind that you can't do it.
Right.
Because if God asks you to do something, he is going to provide whatever is needed for you to accomplish it. Because he might be saying, write a book, and you might be thinking, well, I'm not a great writer.
Right.
Well, that's what editors are for.
That's right. So
And
true.
so sometimes we can really block our blessing by thinking about, I'm not talented enough. Well, I'm not a great speaker. Well, there's training for that.
Right.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
And that's what you do. Is that what is this organization, and how would somebody get connected with it if they needed to?
Yeah, so they can go to my website, expectingvictory.com,
Right. Yeah.
and then my Facebook fan page is Jessica Houston Enterprises.
Okay.
I post inspirational messages every day, several times per day, and they can set up a strategy call with me where we will just kind of do a little bit of digging to see which direction they would like to go. We hold trainings, speaker boot camps, one-on-one coaching, mastermind programs. So anyone who is looking to actually delve into how do I actually profit from what God has placed inside of me,
Right.
I would love to support them.
Now, you were saying that you were managing at one time a multi-million-dollar grant
Yes,
yourself. And
I
so
was.
tell us now, because I know some of the people, there's some people that might think to themselves, well, gosh, I heard your story, but what are the successes you have? How will I know that you can help me? I think it's amazing what God did for you. So if
Yes.
you would just share a little bit about your successes.
Oh,
too.
yes.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned before, I'm a college professor.
Right.
I actually, when I managed the grant, I was bringing in speakers as well.
Is that
And
right?
so, yes, so I learned what is needed now
Yeah.
as far as writing invoices and contracts. And many of my clients have actually been able to start their businesses, write books,
Right.
establish their brands. And so I take them from beginning to end. So what is your vision? And then I help them clarify their vision, and then I walk them through the steps of getting their business started. And many of them have learned how to speak effectively, and they're
Right.
traveling, and they're getting speaking engagements, and they're opening their own coaching practices.
Wow.
And so it's amazing to just be able to help and support those
Right.
who initially felt as though they couldn't do it.
That is amazing. It's
Yeah.
it's neat to me just hearing the theme of your life.
Yeah.
I can see how the theme of your life is to give people confidence to do the
Yes.
things that they just never believed they could.
Yes.
And I mean, isn't that just what the most important thing? I mean, because if somebody with the power of belief, what do you think about the power of belief? I know we just got about a couple
gosh.
minutes, but what is about the power of belief? How does that
Oh
help?
my gosh. Your belief is everything.
Right.
Because if you don't believe that it can happen, it won't happen.
Yeah.
And one of the things I tell people is, if you don't believe in miracles, how do you expect to have a miracle? How do
Right.
you expect to experience a miracle? And one of the things I believe, and I will say this
Yeah.
until the day that I leave this earth, is that God is real. God is alive. He is not just this character in the book. He's
Amen.
not just the person that your pastor talks about or the person that your parents may have told you about,
Right.
but he is a living God.
Wow.
And it just excites me. Oh my goodness. It excites me.
Amen.
Because he is real. He is living, and he can do anything.
Yes, he can.
It doesn't matter if you are in debt, if your body is hurting, if you're in pain, if you're struggling with depression, bipolar disorder. It does not matter. There is nothing that is too difficult for our God.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Jessica, this has been an incredible time, and even just getting to know you backstage and hearing the anointing and the power of the Spirit on you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming.